inside the DNC. Just because you did something good does not mean that you have license to do something bad. Your argumentation is like a child here, bro.
But Cenk told me, go ahead, do it. And I don't agree with Cenk all the time. I don't. I don't agree with the Young Turks a lot of the time. The specific segment this week that a lot of people have been upset about is they did something on the DNC lawsuit. Michael Schor, who I don't agree with a lot. I think he's a nice guy, though. I've met him. He's a very nice guy. He said something along the lines of, oftentimes people who file class action lawsuits are opportunists. And John Iadora, I always fuck up.
First of all, he also said and completely misrepresented the argument, claiming that it's unreasonable for Bernie Sanders supporters to donate, and then if Bernie Sanders changes his mind on some sort of policy, for them to get their money back. That was not what is happening at all. You have a person on a show who doesn't even understand, either doesn't understand the fucking argument or dishonestly changes it, when the argument is that according to the DNC charter, they are supposed to be unbiased, impartial, and that's not what happened. And so they committed fraud. So I'm sorry, like, you can disagree with shit all you want, but when you lie and defend corruption, you're a piece of shit. He might be a nice guy. I don't give a fuck, but he is defending the indefensible. It is not an issue of being too progressive. I don't give a fuck about progressive. And frankly, I doubt that a lot of the criticism the Young Turks got from the left on that video was because he wasn't progressive. It's because he was defending corruption. You know that. And it's disappointing that you don't accurately explain the position.
His last name's John Iadora said something along the line, donations are donations. I don't agree with either of those statements. I think it's a very generalized statement to say, oh, people in general that file class action lawsuits are opportunists. I think that's a generalized statement. There's no doubt.
So you agree again with H.A. Goodman, but for some reason you're doing this. I wonder why that is. I know you tweeted, oh, you speak your own thoughts, and I know that you, for some reason, gave a preface during the beginning of this video that Cenk Uygur definitely didn't tell you to do this. We're not stupid, dude.
Data or facts to back that up. And Michael's my colleague, and I disagree with him. And if he was watching this, I don't think he would care that much because we could disagree.
I don't give a fuck what he thinks.
Doesn't make him a bad person.
Okay, let's define some shit here. If you misrepresent people's arguments and you defend corruption, you are a bad person. Fuck that. You are a bad person if you defend corruption and you lie. You can defend people and their bullshit like that because you have to work with them. Fine. You know, like I said, I was not one that expected you to call out the Young Turks on their bullshit. However, what I will not fucking tolerate is this idea that you're going to defend their fucking bullshit and then try to take down one of the most credible journalists in the process. That is bullshit.
Do I think Michael is as progressive as I? No, I don't. Does that make Michael a sellout? No, it does not.
How is defending corporate corruption not selling out? What would you have to do to sell out? You're not making any sense.
Does that make Michael a bad person? No, it does not.
Well, that's a judgment call. I don't give a fuck. No. Let's parse this. If you have a disagreement in political positions, that doesn't make you a bad person. But that is not what this is. So while I would grant you the argument, if I were to grant you the argument, that this is simply an issue of different levels of being progressive, well then yeah, it doesn't make him a bad person. But that's not what he did. Well, I don't understand why you keep saying that. He defended corruption. What is the one thing that the Young Turks claim to be against? They're running the Justice Democrats. They are against corporate Democrats and corruption. Yet you are defending corruption. Michael Schur was defending corruption, and you are now defending him in his defense of corruption and claiming that he's not a bad person because he defended corruption. What other method or metric would you go by to determine whether or not somebody is a good person? Maybe I'm too strict. Perhaps I am the problem.
By the way, Michael, which H.A. Goodman and others didn't report, came out and said, I chose my words poorly.
That doesn't even make sense. You either are supporting and defending the DNC, or you're saying they were corrupt. It's one or the other. Either they were corrupt or they were not corrupt. Saying that you chose your words poorly is a fucking, that's like a, what is that? That's like a snake argument. That's complete fucking bullshit.
John, do I agree that donations are donations? No, I think that's a simplistic way of looking at it. Donations aren't donations. If you're a private organization, which the DNC is, essentially, if, let's say, a company did a fundraiser for breast cancer for one of its employees and got in hundreds of thousands of dollars and the employee didn't have breast cancer, that's called fraud, and it's against the law.
That's what the DNC did.
So I disagree with both of them. But you saw people like H.A. Goodman, right? You saw people like Tim Black. I just saw Niko House, who's a friend of mine. I like Niko. Doing all these videos, basically trying to rally the troops, turn off TYT, they're sellouts, they're frauds, they're fake. And they're entitled, by the way. This isn't like me telling you not to watch them. If you want to watch them, by all means.
By all means, you can watch them, but you would just be watching predators that are like Fox News.
I believe in watching as much as you can, getting as many different opinions as you want. But I will say what they're doing is preying on people who are frustrated, who are angry, who are emotional, and who are susceptible to hucksters.
You claim that a motherfucker is your friend and you talk about him like that? What kind of person are you? Are you fucking serious? And you really don't think the way that the Young Turks cover Donald Trump isn't the same fucking thing? They lie about that dude all the time. I wish I could do something else and talk about some other shit, but it is a constant barrage of fucking bullshit. And as I've said before, the reason that I constantly talk about it is because you cannot have a situation in America where a president is impeached over lies. That would fundamentally alter the fucking country.
I've never seen H.A. Goodman out in the field.
Is that what he even does? Why the fuck would that even matter? Again, you're virtue signaling. I thought that was beneath you, but apparently it's not.
And that's okay. Some people are commentators, and they're in the studio.
Well, then why the fuck would you bring it up?
I've never seen H.A. Goodman get offered multi-million-dollar contracts from a cable news network and turn it down.
Oh, yeah, because, Cenk Uygur's broke. He's not running the most successful independent news outlet. And him getting some sort of multi-million-dollar contract, that's the same thing as if one of the people was offered a multi-million-dollar contract. In addition, why the fuck would that matter? What does this matter? Look, I don't give a fuck what you say about Cenk Uygur. He is dishonest. He lies. It's very simple. I wish he would stop lying. I would love for Cenk Uygur to come out and be like, I don't know why the fuck I was doing it, but maybe it was Al Jazeera. I don't know why, but I am no longer going to lie, and I will now be credible. I will go back to the old Cenk. That would be fantastic. But there's nothing you can say about his virtue that is going to change the fact that he lies.
I saw Cenk Uygur do that. I've never seen Tim Black do that. It's very easy when you're in a studio or your bathroom or whatever, and people who you don't think are as angry as you, who you don't think are as true as you, who you don't think are as, progressive as you.
The word you're missing is truthful. You want people to be